In this workout, this is the first variation of the week for my upper body training. We're going to start out here with incline barbell press. Every set is taken to as close as failure as possible. We're doing 3 sets. The goal is 8 to 12 reps for each set. So you see in this one, I got the safety bar set up at the bottom. I'm training by myself and I'm upstairs, and the goal is not to break my floor when I'm working out. So these things are set here right at chest level. A little bit high, but it doesn't make that much of a difference. So I'll come down and I'll touch those safety bars, and then I'll go right back up to the top there. Again, the goal is to get 8 to 12 reps as close to failure as possible. You see the last rep here I don't get, so that's documented as a partial. The next thing we got here is a cable variation of a chest press. The goal on this one is to go straight up, similar as you would on a chest press machine or with dumbbells. So to set this up, you have your pulleys set up top, and you got pulleys set up at the bottom. You run your cables from the loading pins up to the top cables, and you come down to the bottom. Again, 8 to 12 reps for 3 sets is close to failure. What's nice about these cables, as opposed to dumbbells, I can train all the way to failure in this one. Don't have to drop anything. All I do is set the weight down simply at the bottom. As you see here, I'm getting close to failure. There I am. Simply set the weight down. All right, here we got the chest flies. So you can do these with dumbbells, but I like the cables. It's the exact same setup as the chest press. However, this time I'm going a little bit wider, and I'm focusing on getting that squeeze at the top, really pinching the chest together at the top there and trying to get my hands together. Again, 8 to 12 reps for 3 sets is what my goal is, as close to failure as possible. On this one, you see the bench is raised a little bit higher. It just allows me to go a little bit deeper in the stretch. So you can manipulate what your hands are hitting. You can have your hands, when they're in the up position, go more towards your head. That'll hit more of the upper chest. Or you can kind of compensate for it and have it come just above your chest and focus on that. So here we go. We got a single arm lat pull down. So with this variation, I have two variations that I do. This one I'm focusing on getting like the chin up grip, the supinated grip. Down at the bottom right here, at the top, I'll stretch it all the way out. See here, the stretch all the way to the top and a neutral grip position. It allows me to get more stretch out of my lat right there. So as you're doing these, you're focusing, it's a good width, quote unquote width movement for your lats. So with that stretch there at the top, you're really stretching as hard as you can at the top right there. And you're coming down here almost in a rowing motion. But as you get to the top, you're really gonna let your scapula stretch out as far as possible to the top. You're not letting your arm come out of socket, nothing close to that, but you're really opening up your scapula and getting a good stretch at the top. And then you're coming down, pulling out as hard as you can at the bottom, really focusing on getting this good squeeze in the lats. So you see here, I simply just switched arms on this. So what I do for something like this, I'll wait a minute in between doing it. I don't know how much it makes a difference, but I like to be fully rested, at least close to being rested before I do the other side. I'll do the same thing for everything I do unilaterally. So with this one, same as the other one, it's 8 to 12 reps, 3 sets. It's close to failure. And you see at the end of this, we'll do a couple partials at the end of it here. And again, everything's got a 4 count negative, not a 4 second negative, but a 4 count negative. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. As opposed to 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3. See, that's about 3 seconds, give or take. As I get closer to failure, I imagine my cadence increases a little bit. My goal was not to make my cadence go any faster, but to keep the same rep tempo of the whole thing. So this one here, we got our dumbbell rows. So in this variation here, we're using my plate-loaded dumbbells, which work out great. What I found is 25s is about as big as you can go for these comfortably for most movements. You can throw a 45 on there on both sides to get heavier weights, but they're probably going to run into you lose a lot of mobility with this. You end up hitting your armpit, hitting your chest, whatever you may be doing, it messes up a lot of things. Again, 8 to 12 reps, 3 sets, close to failure. All right, here we got a cable pull down. Or a cable pullover is what we call these here. So it's not the best angle for the movement here, but as opposed to what I had going on a minute ago. You can see a lot more of my back going across here. Even though it's not an amazing back, you can still see a little bit through the shirt there, the back contracting right there. You're getting a good stretch at the top. And what I'm doing at the bottom right here, Joe Bennett from the Hypertrophy Coach talks about this. He likes to do, wouldn't call it a swing at the bottom right here, but in order to maximize your potential for growth of this, you get a good stretch at the top right there, really focusing on the stretch portion of the movement right here. This is the stretch portion. When you're leaned forward like that, you're not going past 45, and then at the shortened length of the motion of the muscle with the motion here, you're kind of coming up a little bit more. You're not coming all the way up to 180 or at 90 degrees. You're still keeping your between 45 and 90 through here. All right, these are called Y raises. So these are a fun thing to do right here. It looks like it'd be more of a rear delt, but I tell you what, when you do these things, your side delts light up, and your front delts and your rear delts, but mainly your side delts light up on this right here. So the goal is to start here in the position, and you're going to go all the way up, making literally a Y with your arms. You can go more upright of your arms, or you can go a little bit wider to the side there. But the goal is 8 to 12 reps with 3 sets here, as close to failure as possible. At the end of it, it's easy to finish with these going all with a failure, because you're getting a few partials at the end. You see now I'm starting to fail. I'm not getting nearly close to the top right there, but I don't count these, but I do my best to get 5 to 10 of these at the end of it, to really focus on getting the most growth in the length of position of this. Now the final thing I got here are barbell shrugs. There was more planned for after this, but unfortunately my kids took over the gym and the video was cut short and my workout was cut short. But simple barbell shrugs. The goal is just really shrug the barbell is all it is here. If you go with a little bit wider grip, you get more of a stretch at the bottom right there, more on top. It takes away some of the weight. As you can see here, I'm not doing these nearly good enough at all.